wedding photography.
That's right. That's right.
This is obviously not a wedding photo.
Right. Any type of photography, you have the tools. When you buy this class, you have the chart. You can take it with you, so that as we started, full circle back to the first day, that you can go walk into any room and play your camera, essentially, like a musician.
Exactly.
Know it like the back of your hand and know how to attack and solve your problems. So we will see you back, folks, in 15 minutes. Go purchase this course before the price goes up. See you then.
Welcome back from break, everyone. We are here on our final stretch with Roberto Valenzuela. So excited about hearing the final part, thoughts that you have that did not come out right. Before we get started, we are going to give away so many prizes. We have so many great prizes to give away. This is a grand slam here. So first prize, Think Tank Artificial Intelligence and a Fundy album builder. This is a dream prize. This is a $349 value. Do you want to talk about Fundy? I'm not sure if we've given away any Fundy yet, have we?
We should have, no?
Let's talk about Fundy a little bit.
Fundy is awesome for album building. If you need to speed up your album process, they really do make it easy. You can actually put the layout together and then actually Photoshop each picture while it's in its little layout on the layout of the page. Unlike other album builders that you actually have to Photoshop all the photos first and then put them in the album building software, Fundy allows you to have that flexibility to change your mind, make the photos black and white, color, Photoshop them differently. You can do it all while the layout's already there. Just makes it super easy. They have all kinds of products for your blog, for your album building, for your branding, for your price list. So Fundy is great. So if you don't have it, you should.
Great. Okay, perfect. So this is a $349 prize. The winner is Justin Rashall. His Twitter handle is Justin Rashall. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. And Justin's quote was, "Simplicity through subtraction. Additional elements aren't needed if they don't help the subject."
Oh, that's really
great quote. Congratulations to Justin. Thank you to Think Tank and Fundy. All right, we're going to keep moving along here. Next prize. Triple Scoop Music. This is Roberto's entire collection on Triple Scoop. This is a great prize, $400 value. The winner is Zeus, and Zeus's Twitter handle is Shoot in Any Light. And Zeus's quote was, "Put your efforts into deliberate practice and your results will improve much faster." So once again, thank you to Triple Scoop and congratulations to Zeus. And we have two more prizes to give away.
Two more prizes, okay, the grand finale. The first one is an ice light. So we have been seeing those in action all week long. Fran is like, hey, wait a minute, I want the ice light. And so do you want to talk again a little bit about the ice light?
The ice light, I use it because its portability is great. Also, if you go to the airport, you don't have this crazy acid battery, which whenever I fly to other countries to shoot, they always pull me out of the airplane because they think there's something else in my bag. But I needed that flexibility of having the video light, so the ice light not only solves the issue, it's also super thin, it fits in my small bag, and it's very, very beautifully white, balanced, daylight balanced.
Cool.
It's daylight balanced, so it's like carrying window light everywhere you go, and that's why I'm in love with it.
Cool. Well, Daniel James T. Cook, you now are the proud owner of an ice light, and I like his Twitter handle, which is just the DC.
Ooh.
Daniel Cook. And his quote was, "Refuse to be satisfied by the obvious. Use the ingredients, but transform them."
Oh, he should win the ice light with that quote.
Yeah, right?
That's great.
I seriously want to make a little book out of your quotes. I think you've been one of the most quotable instructors we've had. These are fantastic.
Let's put it together.
And that means, yes, that means that this has been an amazing workshop. But the grand prize, which is the one-on-one mentoring and portfolio review session with you.
That is pretty cool.
What is this person going to get?
This person is going to, this has been requested for a while.
Yes.
And because of my schedule, it's not easy for me to just I barely have time for my wife, you know. So you have 30 minutes of my time where you can have me go through all your photographs, whatever photographs you want, and I will personally go through them with you one-on-one. It's part of the robertophotocritique.com, but I'm gonna give the grand prize winner for you for free, and I hope you really enjoy that. So
Awesome.
let's see who wins that one.
Well, drum roll, please.
Drum roll, everyone.
The winner is Nick Aurora, and the Twitter handle is Nick Aurora Photo. And the quote is, imagine the photograph before you take it, don't just hope.
That's very
so
good.
again, this is what we've been learning all weekend, is it's not about hoping or wishing that you're gonna get something
Correct.
good.
Right.
When you put it all together, all of your pieces, ingredients together,
right.
That's how it works. So congratulations. Thank you again to all of these sponsors that have given away prizes.
Great prizes.
And in fact, thank yous. I'm going to hand it over to our producer, Aaron. Thank you, Aaron.
So I know. So I've been wrangling Roberto all weekend. You can probably tell he has a tendency to run around a little bit. But no, it's been good. It's been really, really good, and I think we found a good balance. But anyways, so I have the honor of doing the thank yous. So I'd like to start with B&H. B&H, huge sponsor, has been with us for a long time. All the gear at the bottom of the course page links you to the B&H webpage for those specific gear items. So that's great. And then our normal sponsor, Borrow Lenses. Cobalt, Tether Tools, and Kessler provides a lot of the gear that we use here and help make this entire thing possible. And then Glazers, big shout out to Glazers. They are a rental shop down the street, and they help us out with most of the stuff that we use for sets, and also tons of last minute things that we piece on top for these productions. I'm going to turn it over to Roberto, and you can talk a little bit about some of the sponsors who are involved.
My business wouldn't be where it's at would it not be for these amazing companies that have not only do a great job with producing great products, but they also give me great service. And they have been supporting me from kind of a long, long time. So I really want to thank them. Triple School Music is especially important to me just because I'm a musician, right? Or I used to be, more like it used to be. So as a musician, I know that when you work really hard to put music together and compose it and perform it, you should be compensated for that when people use your songs for your own, to make your own money, right? So if you buy a song from Triple School Music, you get a lifetime of rights to use that photo with unlimited uses, and you have it for the rest of your life, those rights. So it's a licensing company. Nik Software has been my filter of choice from day one. Nik Software just has the most advanced, most easy, most fused photo filters with Photoshop, just work seamlessly with that software, and they have been great. Of course, Think Tank Photo is my bag of choice. I have their airport security too, is a killer bag. I don't know if you have it, but it's killer, and pretty much all my small bags are all Think Tank Photo. They have really smart pocket designs, and they just really think things through, therefore Think Tank. See, it's pretty good. Pictash has been my company of choice for a long time for image hosting, and whenever I have a wedding, I put it up on Pictash, and I make quite a bit of good extra cash from the sales that my clients, family, and friends buy from Pictash directly, so that's really nice. I already spoke about Fundy. It's a great album building and blog to make it all really easy to do. Gary Fong obviously transformed the way you can use your flash and to even out light to not create shadows in weird places. The Gary Fong Light Sphere and many of the Gary Fong products have really given you some pretty cool tools to change the way the light looks on your flash, so that's pretty nice. White House Custom Color, I love them. Best customer service you'll ever have in a lab in the world. I mean, it's seriously a great company. They have every product you can imagine, from really cool way to display your price lists to clients that is different, to metal prints, to canvases, to acrylics, to whatever you want. They are an amazing lab. And of course, Graphic Studio, my album company of choice, who have been with me and supported me for a long, long time. They have just really beautiful paper choices that look very elegant, and they go really, really well with my style of photography. And they have now in 2011 and 2012 added a whole plethora of new covers, and they have this swatch book that you can show your clients, and it has everything right there. So Graphic Studio has been great.
And to add to that, Pictage went went out of their way and made prints for each of our students here today. And I actually have those with me right now. So,
Piktash, thank you.
I know a lot of you guys are traveling home, so I kept them in the plastic wrap for you. But yeah, is that Fran? Here, why don't you run up here and grab them from me?
Isn't Piktash awesome? How nice of them, right? It's really cool. Thank you, Piktash, for doing that very much.
This one.
Let me see. Oh no, that's nice. Nikki, that's funny. Let me see what you guys have. Oh, cute. Are those your kiddos? Yeah. Oh, love. Are those your? Oh my gosh, look at your family. Let me see your photo right there. Let me see that real quick. Oh my goodness. How beautiful. Oh. Hey, I see patterns and repetitions. I see single color. And I see same color palette. Good job.
That wasn't me. That took I'll have to give credit to Heather Nan.
See, now you have to tell her, hey.
So Pictage also wants to let you know that they're going to give you all 6 months of Pictage Pro plus Shoot Q Hub and a sample pack. That's a $1,000 value. So
That's
each
huge.
of you guys are going to get that. Yeah, each one of you guys get that. So you get a 6 month of Pictage Pro and Shoot Q Hub and a sample pack from Shoot. Yeah. So yeah, exciting.
Piktash went all out. They also printed all these things for me.
Yep.
These photographs were printed by Piktash as well, as a little backdrop. See, they're nice, right?
Yeah, they're nice. We love them.
That's why I work with them.
To continue the thanks, I know Pictage is fantastic. So Landmark Event Center, I know Kenna and Susan mentioned that while we were there. I just want to give them another big shout out. We only touched the tip of the iceberg with where you actually saw us at there. There's a lot of space to use. They have 190 different rooms. It's a fantastic space, and they're awesome to work with. So we wanted to give them a big shout out because whether it's events or photography, they are big supporters of the art. So. Belltown Brides. They provided the dress that Kesia was wearing yesterday, which was gorgeous, and also the reason why I didn't want her to sit down, because they provided that dress. And I wanted to get it back to them nicely. I know, I'm sorry. But they got to throw the challenges out there, right? That's how that works. And they also provided the dress for a couple of other times. So just wanted to give them a big shout out. Photo assistants, Julia Bruck and Joseph Lambert. Joe is who you saw today. Julia is who we had on yesterday. You never saw Nakoma, but she was behind the scenes doing the wonderful hair and makeup. So you can thank her for our models looking fantastic. And then the students.
Oh my gosh, what is this?
So Roberto, I got to turn the tables here a little bit and have you critique this photo.
I love it. It's perfect.
It's perfect.
How we learned from you. We wanted to put together.
Check out Fran on the top. Like, what's going on with Pepe over here? Oh my gosh, David's doing a whole like Karate Kid thing going on. Oh my gosh. Mallory, why? Why? And Nikki's about to shoot the sky and looks like she's about to shoot Fran as well. Or maybe Pepe in the butt, something.
Oh, wow. So I wanted to give a big shout out to the students here. This was a very, very interactive workshop, and it wouldn't be possible without you guys. And all you guys were fantastic to work with. I thought you guys took direction really, really well. And
Can I have this photo?
yeah, we can give you this photo.
I want it on canvas.
Okay. We can probably figure that out.
Gosh, can you do that for me? Like, that's just like, no, we can't. Of course you can.
Even put in front of the gazebo.
And you
for you.
framed them.
It's pretty good.
Oh, this picture makes me sad. It's the end.
This is the end. I
This
hate
is
to
the
say it.
end. Dun, dun, dun. This is the end.
Not yet. We have 45 minutes.
True, but
Yeah, let's go another 5 minutes. So the Creative Live audience is another person or entity that I would like to thank. This is not possible without not only the students here, but the people out in the world watching. You guys chatting in through the chat rooms and giving us feedback are what make this thing function. So I thank you all for your time and involvement. Lastly, the crew. The one and only Creative Live crew, I will say, from camera operators to the chat hosts, to the technical directors, my beloved audio folks, everyone out there has been fantastic. We definitely kind of put the pedal to the metal with this production being
You've been
on site.
fantastic, Aaron.
And thank you. I did a little bit on the side too. And then, last but not least, I would personally like to thank Roberto. You have been fantastic.
Thank you.
Believe it or not, you've been good to work with. You've been really fun to work with. I think the students are taking away a lot. I've just heard them at the studio, just their epiphanies that they've come up with, which is really, really cool. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for all Creative Life, really. Thank you to Craig for the invite. Thank you to George Veranakis. Thank you to Aaron for putting up with me. I know I'm not the easiest sometimes. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
So with that said, I'm going to turn it back over to Roberto, and we will finish out Roberto's workshop.
Actually, there's one more person that we need to thank.
Oh.
That is Aaron Anderson,
Ah,
our
damn.
amazing producer.
Blast.
100%. Give it up for Aaron. Woo!
Thank you.
I tell you, this guy's on fire, multitasking like crazy. Like he's like a DJ with his earphones and stuff. He's like, what's going on the left? What's going on the right? I just told him the first day, I'm like, it gives me just a headache just to see you for 5 minutes running around. But it's what makes the show work. So thank you.
He really is.
Yeah,
he
thank
is
you.
really an amazing producer, and he keeps getting stuck with these workshops that are a little bit crazy on location, all these things going on, and he just does an amazing job. So huge thank you to Aaron.
And what about
Huge props.
Ken and Susan?
Oh,
What's up with that? My favorite. Look at you guys. Thank you so much. Can we give them a round of applause for all this they've done?
Thank you.
Because they have been like on fire, masters of their domain, and they have made everything so much fun. So
Good.
thank you,
very
Susan.
much.
Thank you, Kenna, very, very
you.
much.
Thank you.
cool. All right, take it away,
Let's go.
Roberto.
How about those prices, huh? Pretty cool. So let's go out on a strong note. Let's tie all these things together, and let's make sure that not only you guys feel like encouraged or whatever right now, but let's make sure that it lasts. Let's make sure you actually learn how to upkeep this kind of thinking for years to come, okay? Because like I tell everybody that comes to workshops, it's fantastic that you come, it's fantastic that you're listening and you're paying attention. But if you don't go home and continue what you're learning, you might as well not have come at all. Like you're just going to forget. And I assume if you're sitting there watching on your computer, you're probably pretty serious about photography and you want to improve, you want to make a build a business out of this. So let me explain to you something that a lot of people have asked is how do you practice these things and how do you do your own upkeep? Now you all have little notebooks and pieces of, something to write with, right? I'm gonna go and show you what I do, and then I'm gonna ask you, and maybe you guys online watching, go ahead and try to do the same thing that I'm gonna ask them to do, and I'll explain that in a minute, not right now, but I'll have you guys go through the same process that I go through every single wedding. Sounds good? So this kind of stuff means a lot to me. They're just silly slides, but they are powerful slides for me, and they're sort of emotional just because these little slides, even though they're super silly, have been responsible for my progress. And if it wasn't for my progress, I wouldn't have been able to stay as a photographer. I would have had to go do something else, right? So these slides, I take them very seriously and very personal. And they're actually probably the silliest of all slides. Here's a typical practice session I actually did. This is in the building, near the building where I live, and I saw this little hallway. And because every time I walk into a bride's room, it's always this hotel, right? And the hotel has these hallways with the doors on the left and on the right. So part of my mentality is I want to be able to study the segments that are in every section of the wedding that I work on. Let me make sense out of that. If I show up at a hotel room where the bride is getting ready, what are the elements that are pretty constant in every hotel room? Bed, walls, paintings with a glass, okay, a glass cover, right? Mm-hmm. usually mirrors, usually lamps,
And blinds.
blinds, sometimes colorful walls, sometimes depending on the hotel. Like I travel a lot to different countries, I've seen blue and orange and stuff like that. And when you walk to the hotel room, usually you see the hallways and stuff, right? So I wrote a list of these kinds of items, like hallway. What happens with the wedding dress usually? Where does the wedding dress usually stand when you walk into a room? It's kind of on the hanger, right? Sitting by the window, right? So I wrote a little list on my notebook and I put bride getting ready or groom getting ready. And I wrote a list of all the items that I pretty much see in every hotel room constantly. And then I developed a little practice session throughout for each one of them, okay? These practice sessions do not take a long time. They took me about 5 minutes. I would say 10 minutes on average. Let's take a look at one. Here's my 15-minute hallway session. How does that look to you?
Like a hallway.
Like a hallway. How exciting can you do this? Can we transform this like we transformed the corner of this room? You sure can. So let's take a look at one thing that I did. I didn't have models, so I busted out my broom and my dustpan. My broom and my dustpan became my models for the day. They do not complain. They are not high maintenance. You don't have to feed them, and they are free. Perfect combo, right?
And they're skinny. I'm just kidding.
And they're what? They're skinny. I told myself I have to come up with a creative way to photograph this broom, and I have to come up with some techniques so when I see another hallway, I have 3 to 5 little tools in my head that I can implement in this little hallway. Does that make sense? So here's what I did. I put the broom and the dustpan, and do you see how there's a little bit of a reflection on the paint on the floor?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool, so I made a note. Okay, another thing is, there's a light source coming from the other side of the hallway coming in, so I made another note. That's a contrasting lighting situation, which is a very common one, right? And then I thought, how can I use that light in the back to create something special in the hallway? Now, this may sound really crazy and anal, but again, I'm gonna repeat myself here. That's what it takes to do well. For every time you do this, there is 30 million other photographers not doing it at all, just complaining that they're not making money. Okay? Now, I put the broom and the dustpan on the other side, and I thought, this does not look good. This is not showing my broom and my dustpan as well. So make mental notes. Okay? Then I switch it. And this is, remember that photo on the first day? Remember when I showed the photo of the bride walking down that staircase and I zoomed out and all of that craziness? That came from this exercise. So I saw the hallway, I put the broom and the dustpan, and I couldn't come up with anything too cool. So I put the camera on slow shutter, and I tried using my camera's techniques. Like you have shutter speed, aperture, ISO. These are the things you have, and lenses, right? So I put it on slow shutter speed, and I zoomed out when I took the photo, and it created this like explosive look. And I said, mental note, hallway looks pretty cool when it's exploding. Explosive look on the hallway looks pretty cool. Especially when there's a light source, like a bright light source. It looks like it's like that's like the ground zero of like some sort of explosion or something. It's like the bright side, and then it kind of goes out into darkness. Does that make sense? Really cool. I made a mental note that this was my favorite of all the other 3 photos I took. The next one, I put my teddy bear, and I thought I'll try to put a flash behind it. You know how much I've been using my flashes here? You also noticed how well I've been able to use my flashes and how creative I've been able to use them. Well, this is where it comes from. It comes from me shooting the teddy bear, and I'm trying to blow out the hallway. So I was trying to even out the light from the darkness to the brightness, okay? Turns out I didn't like it, but at least you make a mental note. Then I had the maintenance man for the building came around, and I borrowed him for a second, and I said, dude, please come over here for a split second. Can I borrow you? He goes, what's going on? Now he runs from me. He runs away from me whenever he sees me. I was like, can you stand there, please? So I made them stand on the left, and I just tried to experiment again. What happens if you put someone on the edge of the hallway instead of in the middle of the hallway?
Just too far away.
And I made mental notes. I put him behind, and I thought that looked pretty cool because now I added 2 flashes. One flash is pointing towards the maintenance man, another flash is pointing towards the camera. Does that make sense? And I thought it's starting to look kind of interesting, right? See how we're transforming the hallway? Then I put him in front, and I was just like, kind of like the other one better. Then I put a red gel, and I tried to make the hallway red. And I wanted to know what that would look like. But do you see how the light on the flash spills a little bit of white because the gel wasn't covering the whole flash? Well, that gave me the idea to maybe have one flash with no gel and one flash with a gel. Does that make sense? So now I put the one that doesn't have a gel is towards the maintenance man, and the one that has the gel is pointing towards the camera, but the one that's pointing towards him is too weak. So then I increase the power, and I increase the power. You see that? And now this is doing 2 things. It's teaching you how you can change the look of the hallway, but most importantly, it's making you familiar with the buttons in your flash to change the power. Right?
Yeah.
A lot of times I ask someone, could you change the flash to manual 3/4 and zoom the head at 75 millimeters? They're like, what? And I'm like, how long have you been shooting? 22 years. And you don't, do you know where the on switch is? No. Just kidding. You know what I mean though, right?
Yeah.
By you doing these things makes you like think fast. When I was doing the photo shoot of the corner, didn't I change my flash to the wall and I said, I made a mistake, I have to turn it towards the wall because I need to backlight the legs and all these different things. These are just tools. So I kept going.
He's a nice maintenance guy.
He's very cool. And by the way, he got very comfortable later. Look at this. Huh? Like he started really getting comfortable. I mean, after like, you know, a few minutes, he was just like, okay, I can do this. I was like, dude, you're on fire right now. But look how I'm changing I'm making that thing go from a white hallway to a red hallway, right? That was the setup. That's what it looked like. That's my teddy bear, there's my broom or whatever. But this is the kind of look you can get. I just made a joke, okay, with the crowns. But you can see that hallway looks very different from the previous shot.
I know.
And you're training your brain to do 2 things. Transform what you're seeing, like what I did here, and also become very familiar with your tools, okay? That's what you started with. That's kind of what you end with. Now, the wedding I shot in Hawaii, let me back out of this. Let me see if I can, where is that photo? I'll go to it later, okay? Then I went to the wedding and I saw the staircase. Now you can see the resemblance between the staircase and that hallway. My brain was like, bingo, I know exactly what I want to do here. I'm going to turn this photo black and white, like I did with a lot of these photos today. I'm going to put the shutter on slow shutter. I'm going to zoom out as the bride walks down the aisle. Down the staircase. And I'm going to make this explosive feel, and it's going to look sick. And I'm going to do it in 5 seconds, right? And it's got symmetry, patterns, geometry, balance, light contrast, light coming into darkness, right? And there's the photo from the result of that practice session. So yeah, it is a broom and a dustpan, but it sure paid off, yeah. Right? Because this photo, when people saw this, they're like, that's really cool. And the best part, when I show my clients my photos, I don't just show them the final, I show them what I did with the staircase. Because you want to create a contrast in their mind. When a client sees that you transform that into that, they are like, this guy can do anything. No matter where I go, no matter where we go, no matter if it's raining, sunny, beautiful place, awful place, this guy is like MacGyver, he's gonna make it happen. Okay? This is creating contrasts in the brain, and I don't know if I'll have time to talk much about the brain and all how that works for that anymore, but contrasts are one of the things your brain needs to make a decision not to think about making a decision. If you give people, you want the brain to say, I'm going to make the decision. You don't want your brain to be thinking about making it. When you see something like this, your brain says, I need to hire this person. But if you only show them the beautiful photos, even though you may be good, you're not giving them the contrast the brain needs. Does that make sense? Okay, let's move on to my other one with the bananas and the teddy bear. I'm sure people online are like, oh my God, here he comes with the bananas.
We actually have a regular in the lounge named Bananas, so they were saying.
Oh, really? There it is.
There you are, Bananas.
There it is.
There you are.
So I put the bananas on a light stand because I wanted to create contrast of lighting between a silhouette and a perfectly lit banana. Does that make sense? And then I tried it the other way, and I just kept making experiments. This took me about maybe 20 minutes or 30 or something like that. And I started playing around with the different lighting situations. I put a flash on the banana. Here's the results from that. This is the banana out of focus instead of the banana in focus. Which one do you like more?
The banana focus.
Banana in focus?
Yeah.
See, now you know that because you saw the photo. So if you're going to have a situation where you have the bride by the window and the groom away from the window, you're going to have the same situation. Who would you focus on? The bride. Because if you focus on the groom, the banana goes out of focus and basically the bride goes completely out and you don't know what he's looking at. Is that fair? Mm-hmm. Now I turned the teddy bear towards that side and I said, this looks like he's not interested in the banana. He doesn't like the banana. It's a perfectly good banana. He doesn't want it. So why should I photograph the bride and the groom in those positions? It's like they're not interested in each other, right? Mm-hmm. That was my favorite photo. The banana in focus by the window, the groom in silhouette looking kind of in her direction. Pretty cool. Mm-hmm. I go to a wedding in Mexico, we're shooting, I see this doorway, I'm like, doorway has light, I can put the light by the bride, it's inside a room, the room is dark, silhouette, so I put the groom in the back, and then we took this photo.
What a pretty banana.
What a pretty banana. But when I walked into this room, it was like this. Ooh, door. Oh, groom, stand over here. Bride, stand over there. Bride, look over here. Groom, look at that way. Change the settings to focus for the bride and expose for the bride. Take the picture. Let's move on to the next photograph. And they were just like, I showed them the photo. They were like, what is wrong with you? Right? And I was like, you don't know what I do Monday through Friday. You're just seeing the results of my hard work. And the best part, you're seeing me perform, not hope. When I took this photo, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, look at this. Because I already knew what was going to look like. Remember the first day I said that football player that made the touchdown and he started celebrating for half an hour and then he got kicked out of the game? And the coach was like, you're out of here. And the guy's like, why? I just made a touchdown. And I said, because you made us look like fools. You made us look like that's the first time we've ever had a touchdown. Your photos should be touchdowns all the time. So when you have a shot like this, you should expect it. Not be like jumping up and down that you have, finally, you took a good photo. Look, there's a miracle, people. I took a good photo. It looks cool. Okay.
I'm so lucky today.
What's that?
I'm so lucky today.
Yeah, today is the day. Go buy a lottery ticket fast. There's the practice session. That's what you're going to get. There is the implementation of the practice session. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Wedding dress, typical wedding dress photo. You have the wedding dress. The wedding dress is just sitting there by the hanging somewhere. But remember that banana and the teddy bear shot? Let's use it again. But this time, with only one person. This is why it's like multi-level, okay? Okay, take a look at this movie and enjoy the results and compare it to the banana and the teddy bear photo. Okay, so you are going to be a silhouette. The dress is the banana. The bride is the teddy bear. Do you see it? See how the dress is laid by the window?
More to the left. So keep looking more at me. There you go. That's it. Chin down more.
Same thing. Cool, right? The bride is the groom. The bride is the teddy bear. The dress just became in the place of the banana. Not only that, remember I said to frame with people? So I'm using her to frame as well. Multi-level photography. Okay? You want to see that one more time? Or just move forward? Move forward, okay. Let's move forward. Let me back up out of this real quick. I want to bring up, remember that hallway again with a broom? Now you understand how these things keep getting implemented in all these stuff. This was the hallway. I was just like, I didn't have that light in the back, so I just made it with my flashes.
Do you
Yes.
have 2 flashes there?
I only had one, and I had it at pretty full power
On the back.
in the back. Because remember that hallway photo, it was in the back? That the light source, the sun, was coming from the back? Look at this one. That was in the mirror, that was in the hallway, that mirror. And I didn't just have the bride look at the mirror and she's like looking at herself like, ooh, there I am. I told her, that's a cool mirror, I'm not gonna waste it, but I gotta make it look like it's photojournalistic, right? So I again asked, actually my wife was the one assisting me at this wedding. My wife was putting the flash behind her to illuminate her, and I had the bride count how many little whatever was on the wall, so her brain was occupied counting something, so she wasn't looking and posing for me. So that's why it looks kind of like she's counting something. What I'm saying is, get their brain away from the photo, away from the lens, and make them focus on something else, and you're gonna get a believable face expression, okay? Remember when the maintenance man was sitting on the side when he started getting comfortable? Remember that? Mm-hmm. Do you recognize that?
Yeah.
You see how that's starting to come? You can barely see my wife in the back too. You see a little bit of her dress right in the back. See that? That's her in the back there. So the maintenance man guy really helped me out create all these photographs.
I love that.
Beautiful, right? Now, when I saw this location, it looked like nothing but a big mesh of green and trees and nothing special. And when we were driving, I saw that little branch from far away, and I told the chauffeur guy, I was like, stop! And he was like, why? Because that stupid little trunk was creating a perfectly good frame. And that little trunk was allowing me to put some order in a chaotic, full of bush and tree situation. Does that make sense? So I had the bride, I had a wireless flash in this photo as well. That wireless flash was over here. It was like right there, and that's why I had her turn her face towards the left. So I said, grab your dress so your elbows are doing something, and then turn to the left. I had her walking, not posing, so there's that movement that creates that photojournalistic feel. Not to mention, this is framing her beautifully, and these trunks are pointing your eye right to it. It's like little leading lines into her, okay? Look at all these, this kind of believable expressions. Who wouldn't want this in your wedding, right? This comes from what I said on day 1. Be silly for 2 seconds for a picture that will last a lifetime. I felt pretty retarded when I was telling them to look at each other and do this, and then I was just like, ah! And I had to do more, and then they start laughing at me because I sound dumb, and then boom, I get the picture. But when you show them the photo, they shut up. You know, they're like, oh, smack, you know what I mean? Let's take a look at let me show you something else here. Do you recognize the symmetrical posing on the groom here? Do you see the little pieces of light kind of lighting up on the top left corner of the photo? That came from a little lamp. What you don't see is that also comes from my video light, my assistant's video light pointing it at it. So you have a wall, but I transformed the wall into something of interest. Okay? Oh, this is a good one. This came from, again, using my teddy bear. When I was sleeping at night, I saw that the blinds in my bedroom were in the higher floors, and the lights from the street were shining into my blinds and creating the same shape of the blinds into the ceiling. So then I thought, that's pretty cool. Now all I have to do is put the bright in the ceiling, and I can totally make it work, right? So I went that night. I put my teddy bear on my light stand, and I put the flash in. I put the flash. Teddy bear was here, light stand. I put the flash there, and I photographed it from here. And I had a ceiling, and I wanted to create that silhouette of the teddy bear in the ceiling. And I did it for about 30 minutes until I got the settings right. Made a mental note. And then when I went to this wedding, I said, hey guys, let me just take one quick picture. The groom is like, no, we want to keep dancing. I was like, it will take 2 minutes. They're like, I'll give you 1 minute. I was like, perfect. I only need 30 seconds because I already know what I'm doing. So then I went over there. I put the settings from the mental notes. I saw the ceiling, and I just flipped the image into the ceiling. So it creates this silhouette. Okay? A big shout out real quick to you guys one more time. I want everyone in the audience to see this photograph again and remember the photos that we took from here after a bit of training with locations and how to break them down. Remember, David? Does this look familiar?
Yes, it does.
Would you say it's fair to say that you would look at a location like that totally different than 3 days ago?
I would, definitely.
Really? Do you think would you say that's fair? Would you, Nikki? What about you, friend? Would you look at this location and be like, I can rock 50 photos right here?
Completely, yeah.
You can see how this is chaotic, but you can see how we can make sense out of it now, right? I mean, look at this. Who would have thought those two poles were a perfectly good frame?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that awful looking thing that looks like it's falling apart created that beautiful work of art, little window, like, remember that? All that stuff that we were doing? Compare that. Oh, I look good there. Just kidding. Compare that to that, and compare that other photo to that, and you start to transform yourself, okay? Anyway, in closing, it has been a wild ride for everybody. For me, really tiring. And for you, I have been so happy to see a transformation in your skill level, and most importantly, a transformation in your mentality about what it takes to get to a high level. I think that's probably the most important thing that we're gonna get out of this. So guys, you no longer have to worry again about taking photos that look like this, which is what I did on my second wedding. I thought, this is so cool. Now I realize it looks like they all needed to go to the restroom. There was no restroom available. They found one in the middle of the road.
Bridesmaids.
Oh dear.
Look at the trash in the trash can, the cars. Somebody please help me, right? But now we went from this, which is something I did at the beginning of my career, and be able to put it all together, all the ingredients, and be able to transform the ingredients into something powerful, okay? And it turns out to look something like this. Look at that awful light. I brought the car over to the left, and I had the car drive as fast as possible to pick up the dust, and that dust was going to get reflected by the sun hitting through the trees and create this drama in the entire location. So the guy didn't even know why I was asking him, but I just told him to do it. I walked back behind the trees because I was using the trees as a framing device, because 2 trees make a frame, right? So I had him go. I told the bride and groom to walk. I had my wife hold a wireless flash. I stood behind the trees. All this practice kind of comes together into a big, crazy finale, and you get a photo that looks like that from a photo that just most people would have just said, I don't even know what to do here, or I would have put them in the middle and have them kiss. This is the power of a little bit of practice, a little bit of effort, and just putting the courage there, you know, just do it. You know, and I think this is a powerful, powerful lesson for everybody. So, there it is. I think I am officially finished with Creative Life, and I've had the best time. So thank you.
Thank you so much in the name of our live audience. Thank you so much for all your hard work putting this together. It was an amazing experience for all of us. We're all been talking about it. We've learned so much in the past 3 days, apart from networking and making new friends and meeting the crew. I think it was an amazing experience. It was.
Thank you, and thank you to you, because honestly, let's face it, what you did was pretty brave. I mean, you got put on the spot big time. Not only do you have me watching you, but you also have like 30 cameras all around you, and you have people all over the world watching you. And now they all know your names. I know what you look like.
Follow us on Twitter.
So I think it's really brave of you, and honestly, you guys have been so much fun and totally easy to work with. David, man, you've been great. I like the shirt. And you guys have been great. So let's pass it on to Kenna and Susan.
Awesome. Well, just on behalf of the internet, once again, yes, thank you to all of you students who so bravely went through and represented everyone online. We forgot to thank the models earlier today, so thank you to the models who were there and really what we needed to learn all of this. And thank you, internet, again for joining us. And so one more time, let's give Roberto Valenzuela an amazing round of applause.
Thank you.
So just a few more things. I want to read out a couple of just really quick comments, because there are so many coming through on Facebook, Roberto, but just quick ones that sum it up. Daniel James T. Cook, and actually he's the DC who won that prize earlier, but just said, "You've single-handedly changed everything for me."
Wow.
Thanks, Roberto. And that's just simply stated. Another, and Simon says, quite simple, it's an astounding workshop.
Wow.
So really, really.
Thank you. That makes me feel it all pays off with those comments, you know.
There's a lot of creative love going on right now.
Thank you,
on the
internet.
You're
Love you back.
Yes, I mean you're just a genuine person, and that comes through and shines tremendously. So
Thank you, Kenna.
so thank you.
Appreciate it.
So,
Susan.
Roberto, so I just want to tell all you guys at home and you as well that I don't do this. I don't practice. I think my camera sits in my camera bag way too much. And I'm so inspired by this workshop. I literally am going to watch one segment of this workshop once a week and practice the things that you've told me. I really want the solutions that he's got. I want to have these things in my bag and be able to look at any situation and know what to do and have 5 options. I really want to be a better photographer, and this, I think, is really going to help me. So I'm so thankful for you to remind me that this is what I actually need to do right now. So thank you so much.
Cool.
And if you guys feel the same way at home, if you really want to be better photographers and have the solutions and have all the tricks in your bag that Roberto has, I highly recommend that you purchase this course, and now is really the time to do it. You guys have only a few hours to purchase this course at a great discounted price, so just buy the course. Right?
Right.
All right.
Right.
Okay, well, with that said, I think that we are going to take it out, right?
We're not going to take it out.
God, no.
What you've been waiting for, folks.
Here we
Thank
go.
you, Roberto. We'll see you guys next time, next Tuesday, Creative Live Fashion Week.
Thank you, guys. And this was not my idea. They put me on the spot. I haven't played in 7 years. It's payback. This is Aaron giving me payback for moving them around so much with the cameras. So I saw this guitar in the studio and I was just like, oh, that's kind of cool. What's it doing there? He's like, that's for you. I was like, oh, heck no. It is so not for me. Thankfully, it was a steel string guitar, so I cannot play steel string because it breaks the nails and stuff like that. That sounds really feminine, but I have nails to play the guitar. And then he came back with a nylon string guitar. So I haven't played in 7 years, so I will try to play. I'm not even warmed up or anything, and I'm like sweating here. So, now I'm in the spot. It's like, why? Stop watching. All right, let me see. Oh my goodness, and we are way out. Let's see. Thank you. Let's go and drink some wine and let's have some beers. But right now, I can't take this in. Just kidding. Thank you, guys.
Someone on the internet said, I didn't think I could love him anymore.
Woo!
folks, we didn't know we were still on, so I hope you enjoyed that. That was amazing. And like I had said, I'm not sure who said it, but someone said, wow, I didn't think I could love
Was
Roberto
it a girl
anymore.
or a guy?
I'm not sure. It went by so
It's
fast.
Kim.
Can we find this person?
It's Kim back there.
Oh, okay.
All right, folks, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next week. That is a wrap. That is a wrap.
Encore. Bye, guys. Thank you.